Once we have the visual image of our Ishtadev before us, and we are chanting his names and glories, we now need to cultivate sweet devotional sentiments towards him. In devotion, this bhav or sentiment is what pleases God the most. When I was a teenager, there was an old blind lady whom I used to help. She had been blind from birth and never seen anything. I used to take her grocery list and get items for her. One day I asked her, "Mother, if God gave you the option to see something, what is it that you would wish to see?" She said, "Beta, I would like to see clouds." I said, "Clouds? What is the big deal in them?" If you had said Taj Mahal or something, it would still make sense. She said, "I have asked many people to explain clouds to me, but it never registers. Somebody says it's like fluff. Somebody actually etches it and makes me feel it, but nothing really gives me the experience of clouds. So yes, if there was one thing I could see, it would definitely be clouds." That got me thinking that I am seeing clouds ever so often. Am I ever filled with wonder and gratitude at the beauty of these creations? There is so much in this world that we take for granted. The scriptures tell us this whole world is the veritable form of God. Ishavasyamidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyan jagat. It has manifested from the Lord. It is His energy, and hence the divine miracle is happening in every atom of creation. Why is it that we cannot perceive the divinity of this world? And we are bereft of that sense of wonder. The reason is the impurity of our own heart. Those saints who purified their minds, they were able to perceive their Ishtadev in every aspect of creation. Hence, Hanuman states, "Siya Ramamaya Sab Jag Jani, Karau Pranam Jori Juga Pani." He says, "I see the form of Sita Ram in everyone. Hence I fold my hands and offer my respects to them." And the gopis state, "Jit dekhu, tit sham mai hai." Wherever we look, we see Lord Krishna. So if we wish to reach that elevated state, we will need to purify our mind. And in the previous episodes, we have discussed the tools of self-talk and visualization as means for purification, amongst others. I am now going to add one to this today, and that is Bhav. Bhav is the sentiments we bring to our perspective. The depth, the breadth, and the sweetness of our sentiments is Bhav. So, in devotion, this Bhav or sentiment is what pleases God the most. bhavagrahya manidakhyam bhava bhav karam shivam. The Shvetashvatar Upanishad states, God is one by our sentiments. The Manusmriti states, Nakashthe vidyate devo na shilayam na mritsucha bhave hi vidyate devas tasmad bhavam samacharet. God doesn't reside in stone or in wood. He resides in a loving heart. Create those loving emotions for Him within yourself. Of course, to create those emotions, we can always take the help of external props. As in India for millennia, people make a deity of the Lord, and with the sentiments that He actually resides there, they worship that deity. There are so many regulations for deity worship, but factually, the most important regulation is love. Sanatana Goswami was one of the 6 prominent disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is considered one of the Shad Goswamis, and on Mahaprabhu's instructions, he went to reside as a renunciant monk in Vrindavan to manifest the glories of Vrindavan Dham to the world. He wrote many texts. One of them is the famous Hari Bhakti Vilas, which is full of regulative principles for devotion. For every little aspect of devotional practice, he has created a rule or a regulation there. Now, Sanatana Goswami, as a monk, used to go from house to house begging for his food. This is the sacred system of Madhukari. He came once to the house of an old lady and observed how she was worshipping her Gopal. She would take the food from the plate and put it in his mouth. As far as she was concerned, He is the Lord. What is the need for rules? The important thing is that I feed my Gopal with love. Sanatana Goswami, the author of Hari Bhakti Vilas, chastised her. Is this the way to offer to God? You need to follow the regulations, sprinkle the water in this manner, ring the bell with your left hand, and then close your eyes, say these particular mantras. The poor lady became scared. However, at night when Sanatana was sleeping, Lord Krishna came to his dream and said, "Look, I relish her devotion more than anything. Go and apologize to her." Sanatana the next day returned to her home and said, "Mother, please continue worshipping your Gopal as you were doing earlier." Nevertheless, after a few years, the lady was now so old. She was practically on her deathbed. And Gopal came to her dream and said that you will not be able to worship me any longer. Hand me over to Sanatana. Sanatana was now given the custody of the deity of Lord Krishna. As a monk, whatever he would gather in Madhukari, he would offer to Krishna and then eat his prasad. Krishna one day came in his dream. "I understand you are a renunciant, you are detached from your taste buds, but I cannot eat food without salt." Sanatana responded in his dream itself, "Look, my lord, today you want me to get salt, tomorrow you will request for pickles, and day after tomorrow for sugar. I will find it difficult to maintain my vows of renunciation. If you need to eat with salt, you arrange for it yourself." A few weeks went by. A trader was coming with his wares on a huge boat up the Ganga and then the Yamuna, all the way from Kolkata to Delhi to sell them. When he reached the land of Braj, his boat got caught in a terrible storm, and realizing that it could capsize and put his life in danger, he prayed to the Lord and said, "If you save me today, the nearest temple I find, I will offer all the salt I have there in Dakshina." The storm subsided, and he came to the deity of Gopalji that Sanatan was worshipping and offered all the salt there. Later on, he continued to Delhi. When he sold his goods, he returned back and subsequently built there a beautiful temple called Radha Madan Mohanji mandir, which stands even today. This story and hundreds more like this, which you hear of devotees and saints in India, reveal the Bhav that they cultivated towards the deity. However, in our discussion of mind management, we are not going in that direction. We are simplifying the practices. Since this knowledge is so important, for your ready reference, I have put it down in this recently published book, The Science of Mind Management. In it, you will find a rich treasure chest of tools and techniques distilled from the Vedas with which to master your mind. Once we have the visual image of our Ishtadev before us, and we are chanting his names and glories, we now need to cultivate sweet devotional sentiments towards him. And as that deepens our experience of bhakti, then the realization will dawn, where God says, "Bhav ka bhukha hu main, और भाव ही बस सार है, भाव से मुझको भजे तो भव से बेड़ा पार है, भाव बिन सूनी पुकारे मैं कभी सुनता नहीं, भाव की एक टेर भी करती मुझे लाचार है, भाव बिन सब कुछ दे डाले तो मैं कभी लेता नहीं, भाव वाले भक्त का एक पुष्प भी स्वीकार है, बांध लेते भक्त मुझको भाव की जंजीर में, इसलिए इस भूमि पर होता मेरा अवतार है, भाव का भूखा हूँ मैं और भाव ही बस सार है, भाव से मुझको भजे तो भव से बेड़ा पार है. The message for today then is to deepen your devotion with bhav towards the name of God, towards the form of God, and then slowly it will happen where we see his image everywhere. We have come a long way in our mind management challenge. We now have just 3 more episodes to complete this discussion and journey.